Welcome to the Jeffers Brief, only on Contra Radio Network.
And good evening. Saturday, April 7th, 2018, the year of our Lord and Savior Jesus. Okay, couple things. One, we're doing something a little different tonight. I posted the call-in number. If you want to call in to participate, our number is 605-475-4054. Get your pencils and papers ready. I'm going to say it again. Our number is 605-475-4054. When you get there, access code is going to be 982642. 982642. And if you need a PIN number, hit the pound sign 4193 pound. I don't know if you'll need it, but it's there. Okay. Let's try to do a little different stuff, checking out all of our equipment that we've got. We're putting it all together now on this one. You've been getting just the latest uploads usually. Now, the giveaways have ended. Winners have been announced. They've been contacted. If, by some chance, you did not win, that's okay. I'm going to post on the Facebook page the Amazon, because CRN is an Amazon affiliate. If you don't know, we are. I will post those. So if you want to order them, you can. It won't, CRN will get a small percentage, and I do mean a small percentage. It's not going to cost you any extra. For you listeners that are listening on iTunes or listening on your Apple devices, please rate the show. Please rate the show. I need it. It'd be great. I'd appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right. Now, what else am I going to talk to you about? Okay, for you Patriots out there. Now, I know we got a lot of Patriots in Ohio. And like I said in the last show, I think it's because Rob Alducci has been really pounding the pavement. He's making the contacts. He's putting the word out there. So again, get your pencil and papers ready. The number is 605-475-4054. The access code is 982642. When they're done with this, we're done with the show here, okay? We won't be able to use that number because we won't be live anymore. But we will upload the episode into Podbean. All right. Saturday night. For you Patriots out there, let me put it this way. Let me rephrase that. For you American citizens that love your country, this is going to be for you. For you American citizens who do not like your country, who hate your country, you need not apply. You need not even call in. I don't even want to hear from you. Okay? That's the way I am. You don't like it? Too bad. It's my show. That's the way it is. Second, for you Patriots out here, this story is for you. We got it from, okay, the guy that wrote this, he goes by the name Sundance. This was posted yesterday. Now, a lot of people don't understand what's going on. If you've been following this huge scandal that's starting to unravel, and it's starting to unravel, it may not be as fast as we want it to, but that's okay. Now, this is from yesterday. The Department of Justice grants the House and Senate Intel Committee full access to review the FISA application. Now, right now, you're all saying, so what, so what, so what? Where are the indictments? Hold on. We're going to get to it because I want you to understand this. And from now on, for you Patriots out there, and that includes a lot of you preppers. You preppers are Patriots. What I'm going to be doing is this. I'm going to be passing this information along to you. Now, I don't know who this guy is or girl is. I don't know, I don't care. This person has got somebody high up, and the information he's posting is usually ahead of all news sources, all of them. Sometimes he's ahead by months, sometimes it's by days, but he's got somebody. Now, we all know about Lisa Page and Strzok, and a lot of you are saying, well, wait a minute, why are they still employed? And I'm going to tell you why. This is important that we know this. If they get fired, then the Inspector General cannot question them at all. According to Sundance, Lisa Page has flipped. She is selling everybody out to save her own hide. And she just might. Because a lot of the text messages that you've been seeing making the news is because she has been giving them up. She's given up the text messages, everything. Same thing with Strzok. Strzok is going to go to federal prison. There is no way he can get out of it. He has been told to sit in his chair. He doesn't talk to anybody. He's to sit there 8 hours a day or however, whatever his working day is, and shut his mouth. And if he says anything, they're going to hammer on him like nobody's business. There's another player, James Baker. He was the Department of the FBI's legal counsel. Guess what he's been given? He's been given a chair as well. Sit down here and shut your mouth. You don't say a word. Bruce Orr, whose wife was employed by Fusion GPS for the Steele dossier, the guy who went to the Obama White House many times because the White House logs show him signing in. I mean, you look at the timeline convicts them all anyways. So, Orr has been told the same thing. Here's a chair, you don't talk to anybody, you sit here all day. The reason is this: if they get fired, then the IG, the Inspector General Horowitz, cannot talk to them. Second of all, you need to understand about Huber, the federal prosecutor that was appointed by Sessions back in November. November, people. It just made the news last week or so. Is not going to be the only one. The thinking is this. They're thinking this. We got to go back about 30, 40 years. Do you remember when Ken Starr was the special counsel and how the libs and the Democrats tore into this guy, just shredded him? Sessions learned it's not going to happen this time. That's why there's no special prosecutor. What's going to happen is, and this is the thinking, when Huber starts to make his move, and he will, they're going to bring in 15 other federal prosecutors. And then they're going to rip them all to shreds. And the Dems won't be able to do anything politically. They can't hammer on the guy. They got 15 federal prosecutors. What are they going to do? Say all 15 federal prosecutors are bad guys? No. But so here we go. This was posted yesterday by Sundance. And this is important stuff, so we're going to take it slow. I want you to understand this. I don't think you're stupid, but because this scandal is so huge, the scandal is huge, but the participants, the players who concocted this coup d'etat, I'm sorry, the failed coup d'etat, are small. So until today, the only people allowed to review the full Title I FISA application were Trey Gowdy, Adam Schiff, and Judiciary Chairman Bob Goodlatte and Representative John Ratliff. In an interesting development, the Department of Justice has responded to Chairman Devin Nunes, notifying him the DOJ will allow all members of the House and Senate Intelligence Committees full access to review the unredacted FBI-DOJ FISA application used to gain a Title I surveillance warrant against U.S. citizen Carter Page. According to CNN, and this is the part that's blowing my mind. CNN is actually starting to pay attention to this. This is a bad sign for the conspirators. When the mainstream media starts to melt down and starts to report on this, it's over. So, according to CNN, separately, Justice Department spokesman Ian Pryor said the department on Monday will supplement its document production to the House Judiciary Committee by producing another 1,000 pages of materials in response to a subpoena issued by Committee Chairman Bob Goodlatte. Now, this is an interesting development for several reasons. All right, you have to now follow me here. This will be the first opportunity for House Intelligence Committee Chairman Devin Nunes to see the underlying, highly classified documentary evidence that underpins his FISA memo. Previously, only one majority member, Gowdy, and one minority member, Schiff, from the HPSCI, that's the House and Senate Intelligence Committee, were permitted to review the heavily classified and unredacted FISA application. Allowing the full House and Senate Intelligence Committee to review the FISA application is the first step in getting the application declassified. It would be enormously interesting if the public could see the full application as submitted by the FBI and DOJ. There is a significant public interest in knowing exactly how strong the underlying evidence was for the FISA court to grant such extensive surveillance authority. 3. There has been some discussion of a possibility the FISA application held by the Department of Justice and used to structurally create the Nunes memo may not be, let me repeat, may not be the same FISA Title I application held by the FISA court per presiding Judge Rosemary Collyer. Judiciary Chairman Bob Goodlatte has requested the FISA court application. That issue remains unresolved. Now, if, and this is a big if, guys, stay with me. If there are actually two versions, the consequences are astronomical. Almost immediately, Loretta Lynch, Sally Yates, James Comey, and Andrew McCabe would be indicted. Lastly, the willingness of the DOJ, which is Sessions and Rosenstein. And as a person, I don't know how this guy, Rosenstein, is still employed. He ought to be given a chair to sit down in until this is over, but that's another issue. There's a possibility Rosenstein may have flipped as well. All right. The willingness of the DOJ, Sessions and Rosenstein, to allow expanded access to the FISA application at the same time the IG expanded his investigation therein would indicate IG Michael Horowitz and federal prosecutor John Huber have completed the review of the evidentiary weight therein. And this release exactly backs up what were previously noted. Now, what I'm going to tell you here is this. This is from immediate release from the Department of Justice. DOJ Inspector General Michael Horowitz announced today that in response to requests from the Attorney General and members of Congress, the Office of the Inspector General, the OIG, will initiate a review that will examine the Justice Department's and Federal Bureau of Investigation's compliance with legal requirements and with the applicable DOJ and FBI policies and procedures and applications filed with the U.S. Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court relating to a certain U.S. person. As part of this examination, the OIG also will review information that was known to the DOJ and the FBI at the time the applications were filed from or about an alleged FBI confidential source. That's got to be Steele. Additionally, the OIG will review the DOJ's and FBI's relationship and communications with the alleged source as they relate to the FISC applications. The FISC, again, is the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court. If circumstances warrant, the OIG will consider including other issues that may arise during the course of the review. Now, that is an immediate release that was dated March 28, 2018 from the Inspector General's office at the Department of Justice. Now, Horowitz was not announcing this investigative avenue from a position of only just now starting to gather evidence. He already has the evidence. He was announcing the context for him to drop a report summarizing findings of content from the investigation, a report that has nothing to do with the original launch of the OIG investigation. So in essence, He announced the need to write a report based on investigative material he has already gathered. Horowitz already has the FISA material he needed to include it. Follow me? All right. Or Huber and Horowitz could also be setting a trap. Now, this is unbelievable. And like I said, that was just from yesterday. I think what we need to understand, well, you know, I'm just going to go. Now let's talk about John Brennan. Yes, John Brennan. We're going to deal with him too. But first, I want to talk to you about Lisa Page. Now, if you've watched Fox News, they've got a reporter, Catherine Herridge. And there's also Sarah Carter. Herridge and Carter have been really on this, but not like Sundance has. So before we get to Brennan, and we're going to get to Brennan, believe me. We're going to get to him. Now, this was posted on April 5th. Now, Fox News' Catherine Herridge reports today, per her FBI investigative sources, it was an investigative interview with FBI attorney Lisa Page in July of 2017 that contradicted FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe and ultimately led to his firing. The revelation is exactly what we anticipated was the origin to Inspector General Michael Horowitz gaining the text messages between Page and Strzok, Peter Strzok being the counterintelligence agent. Now, the issue is actually more stunning than presented. However, the first report from Herridge is, you got to hear this now and follow me. Now, former FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe was fired last month for committing 3 violations of the Bureau's ethics code, an investigative source told Fox News on Thursday. The violations initially were uncovered by the Justice Department's Office of the Inspector General and confirmed by the FBI's Office of Professional Responsibility. They included lack of candor under oath, also known as what? Perjury. Lack of candor when not under oath, he's just lying to everybody, and the improper disclosure of non-public information to the media about the FBI investigation into the Clinton Foundation. He's a leak, or he is a leak. James Baker Jr. is the source of the other leak, by the way. The violations stem from McCabe's response to an October 2016 Wall Street Journal report about sizable campaign donations from Democrats to McCabe's wife Jill during her campaign for the Virginia State Senate. The investigation found that McCabe instructed FBI lawyer Lisa Page and FBI Public Affairs Chief Michael Cortan to work with the Journal's reporter to set the record straight. The source said, Page's statements to investigators were critical because they directly contradicted her boss McCabe. Now, according to the source, McCabe's lack of candor about the contact with the Journal reporter led to his firing. The source added that Page's testimony, that means she's flipped, about the matter contradicted McCabe's. Then FBI Director James Comey claimed he never authorized the leak to the Journal. Now, the picture was initially clear in March, once we had all the full timeline of the interviews with Andrew McCabe that led to his firing. Now, Fox News reports only confirms the obvious. However, it's important to review the events to fully understand the scope of McCabe's lying and also understand the reason for Lisa Page to be so angry. Remember, Lisa Page was a DOJ attorney assigned to the office of FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe specifically to provide legal guidance. Imagine how pissed off she was when she discovered in July of 2017 the Deputy FBI Director, who told her to leak a story on his behalf to the Wall Street Journal, denied ever telling her to leak the story. Yeah, it's no wonder why Miss Page told FBI agent Peter Strzok to never text her again, and she quit working for the Mueller team several weeks before IG Horowitz informed Mueller about the conspiracy issues, which led to Strzok's removal. So here's the timeline from an assembly of media reporting investigative releases to Congress. Now, if you want, get a hold of me. I will post it. I will. I've got no problem doing that. You know me by now. Andrew McCabe was first interviewed about the media leaks in May of 2017. He denied. A couple of months later, he was interviewed by Inspector General Horowitz, and he again denied. On July 20th of 2017, Inspector General Horowitz gained the Peter Strzok and Lisa Page text messages. Timeline is this, boys and girls. In May of 2017, McCabe denies leaking the Wall Street Journal story to the FBI investigators. In July of 2017, McCabe denies again, this time to Inspector General Horowitz. In July of 2017, that same month, Lisa Page admits to Horowitz she was told to construct the Wall Street Journal story with Devin Bartlett, who's the journalist at the Wall Street Journal. This conflicts with McCabe's repeated denials. Now, on July 20th, 2017, Horowitz gets Lisa Page and Peter Strzok the text messages, proving McCabe constructed the Wall Street Journal story. Now, in August of 2017, after Horowitz gets the proof McCabe was lying, McCabe follows up on the two denials saying, quote, he may have allowed FBI officials to speak with the newspaper, end quote. And later that same month, the FBI re-interviews McCabe based on new admissions. On November 29th, 2017, one day before Mueller indicts Michael Flynn, IG Horowitz interviews McCabe again. Apparently this time, McCabe admitted to constructing the leak. So in May, June, and July of 2017, while FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe was lying to FBI investigators and the Inspector General, Lisa Page was working for McCabe as his legal counsel. Now therein lies the heart and origin of the motive for Lisa Page to flip against the conspiracy group, which she discovered Andrew McCabe lying to investigators about his instructions to her. Now IG Horowitz then interviews Page in July, and she tells the truth, thereby contradicting McCabe. However, Miss Page had the evidence, which are the text messages, which she delivered on July 20th. Oh no! There you go. So, if the attorney, now look, Lisa Page isn't stupid. She's changed. She's bailing because she knows what's coming down the pipe, and she's going to save herself. And she's not the only one. My guess is Strzok is probably going to flip if he hasn't already. He knows he's going to prison. It's just a matter of time. How much time are you going to do, and where are you going to do it? Now let's go back to John Brennan. Yes, John Brennan. Sundance posted this on April 6th. I mean, as this thing starts to unravel, it's going to get more and more. And like I said, if CNN, whom I'm no fan of, is starting to report on this, it's over. It's just a matter of time now. So let's talk about John Brennan's contributions to fraud upon the FISA court, shall we? Let's do that. Most of the vast Russian conspiracy media presentations seem to start with a discussion of intelligence gathering beginning in July of 2016. The GOP convention to nominate Donald Trump was July 18th to the 21st of 2016. According to the July 2016 origination narrative, FBI Director James Comey stated the counterintelligence operation against candidate Trump began in July of 2016. Let's take a pause here. Do you remember when Trump came out and said the FBI had wiretapped him? And everybody laughed at him. Yeah, who's laughing now? So, however, not a single mainstream media entity has looked at the FISA 702, 16, and 17 abuses by the FBI and the DOJ National Security Division outlined by the FISA court and NSA well before July of 2016. It is a matter of unclassified public record the FBI and the DOJ, NSD, the National Security Division, were allowing contractors to conduct searches of the FBI and NSA databases and extract raw intelligence. Throughout 2015 until April 28, 2016, when NSA Director Admiral Mike Rogers shut down all access and initiated a compliance review. By the way, Admiral Mike Rogers is going to turn out to be the hero in all this because he's going to save the Republic from a huge constitutional crisis. You wait and see. Mark my words on this. Now, any objective review of that time period indicates, in strongest likelihood, the search activity was political opposition research for the 2016 presidential election, also known as the Deep State. With hindsight of the FBI and DOJ's political intent, opposition research was almost certainly the motive. Surrounding the nomination that stunned the geopolitical world, almost every foreign government was trying to figure out who and what Donald J. Trump was all about, and more specifically, how would his run for the presidency impact their specific interest. Now, Washington, New York Times in 2017 reports American spies collected information last summer revealing that senior Russian intelligence and political officials were discussing how to exert influence over Donald J. Trump through his advisors, according to 3 current and former American officials familiar with the intelligence. Now, paragraph number 5 of this says this: the information collected last summer was considered credible enough for intelligence agencies to pass to the FBI, which during that period opened a counterintelligence investigation that is continuing. It is unclear, however, whether Russian officials actually tried to directly influence Mr. Manafort and Mr. Flynn. Both have denied any collusion with the Russian government on the campaign to disrupt the election. The New York Times should win a Pulitzer Prize for undermining their own Russia conspiracy headline narrative within the 5th paragraph. And it's a trend these guys are doing. Anyways, we're getting away from it. Obviously, attempting to understand the policies of outsider Donald Trump, Russia would be asking these same questions along with China, France, England, the larger EU, the European Union, and every nation on every continent. It would be silly to claim otherwise. Ergo, a diplomatic mission by Russian government officials surrounding the GOT convention to understand the Trump orbit is no different than a Chinese, European, or Arab Asian effort for the same reason. However, the international interest did necessarily initiate a bunch of foreign officials making contact with anyone and everyone who would be associated with Trump world, regardless of concentric circle distance from the epicenter. That intellectually honest understanding highlights how much of the post-convention in July of 2016 raw intelligence gathering began so easily. The CIA simply monitored chatter amid foreign diplomats, their customary job, which turns into raw data provided to the FBI, which in turn becomes the subject matter of frequent FISA searches and warrants to explore the U.S. contacts on the other side of that chatter. The FISA searches or warrants turn into a child intelligence reports that begins the entire process now known as unmasking. Nothing within this process so far is even in question. However, this is also the backup for intelligence reports to be weaponized for political purposes. Now, in May of 2017, CIA Director John Brennan testified to this exact process before Congress. What was not reported by any media outlet is John Brennan, understanding actions taken by the Obama administration in 2016, created his own exit from the controversy. So former CIA Director John Brennan gave very specific testimony to Congress where he noted he provided the raw intelligence to FBI Director Comey. Full stop. That's the name of it. Now, where full stop directly and immediately indicates Brennan's throwing the responsibility for all that came next upon FBI Director James Comey. John Brennan structured his self-defense with great specificity. You understand? He said, this is what he says. Again, this is Brennan. Again, in consultation with the White House. Let's just implicate everybody, you jerk off. I personally briefed the full details of our understanding of Russian attempts to interfere in the election to congressional leadership, specifically Senators Harry Reid, Mitch McConnell, Dianne Feinstein, and Richard Burr, and to Representatives Paul Ryan, Nancy Pelosi, Devin Nunes, and Adam Schiff between the 11th of August and 6 September 2016. I provided the same briefing to each of the gang of 8 members. Given the highly sensitive nature of what was an active counterintelligence case, that means the FBI, involving an ongoing Russian effort to interfere in a presidential election, the full details of what we knew at the time were shared only with those members of Congress, each of whom was accompanied by one senior staff member. Now, the shorter version is, don't try pinning this unsubstantiated Russian investigation to nowhere and the illegal leaks on me. I just provided the raw intelligence. That's what he's saying. It is important to emphasize here the possibility. It is important to emphasize here the possibly illegal unmasking and the certain illegal leaking were all based on intelligence reports generated from raw intelligence and not the raw intelligence itself. It was FBI Comey and the ODNI, the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, James Clapper, generating the intel reports, including the President's daily briefing. Guess who they just implicated? The CIA provided raw intel, and the NSA generated the raw monitoring intelligence from the characters identified by the CIA and approved by FBI FISA warrant submissions. Now, the FBI were running the counterintelligence operation and generating the actual reports that were eventually shared with the White House. Who? Susan Rice. And the Department of Justice. Now, after the November election, those reports or interpretations of the report content were eventually leaked to the media in a coordinated effort to undermine the incoming administration. During the time James Comey's FBI was generating the intelligence reports, Comey admitted he intentionally never informed congressional oversight, quote, because of the sensitivity of the matter, end quote. In his May 2017 testimony, John Brennan tried to take himself out of the picture from the perspective of the illegal acts within the entire process, while the ODNI James Clapper, while rubbing his face and scratching his head, had taken the same route earlier. That left the majority of scrutiny for the anti-Trump intelligence operation upon who? James Comey. This explained why Comey changed his mind on testifying to Congress until he had the opportunity to talk to newly appointed special counsel Robert Mueller. Now, former FBI Director James Comey is not stupid. He is, however, intensely political. James Comey completely understood the legal risk he was facing within the faux Russian conspiracy theory and the subsequent leaking of his political FBI reports. There you go. Now we've got a direct line to who? Obama through Susan Rice. And don't think for a moment Susan Rice kept all that to herself. She's not stupid. She told Obama about it. Okay. I'm going to keep up on this, and if I have to start doing a show every day, even if it's only for a few minutes, just to get this out there for you, I'm going to do it. There's a lot more this came from, but I was trying to find like maybe 2 or 3 stories to try and get you caught up to what's really going on in there. And the truth is, no one knows for sure. But this guy Sundance, like I said, a lot of his stuff finally makes it to the public light. Some months, sometimes days before even Fox News gets it. And Hannity has been jumping all over. He's on this thing every night. You don't believe me? Watch Hannity for the first 15, 20 minutes. He is on this every night. But this guy Sundance, he knows somebody, and they're talking to him or her. Like I said, I don't know who this person is. I don't want to know. But their information is good. Actually, it's sterling, and it's way ahead of everybody else. So, okay. That'll about do it for this episode. This is for you patriots out there. I don't want you to think that I didn't forget about you. I have not forgot about you. And I wanted to include you. After all, CRN is for preppers and patriots. So with that said, okay. We didn't get anybody else to call in this time. That's okay. I get it. That's cool. Maybe as we start doing it more and more and more of you will want to come on in and, some of you want to come on in and participate. And until that time, what I want to say to you is this. My prepper and patriot friends, be safe, be alert, and be vigilant. I'm John Jeffers here at the Contra Radio Network for the Jeffers Brief. Thank you for joining me tonight. And as more stories start to break on this, I will keep you informed. Thanks and good night.